Eating out has long been a traditional treat. The chance to have someone else do the cooking and serving only adds to the enjoyment of trying some entirely new dish. But in Southwest Florida, this tradition is taking an interesting twist, and not always in places where it might be expected. On U.S. Highway 41 in the heart of Bonita Springs, the Robb Stucky Casual Living Center stays open this evening, but not to sell furniture. Instead, it's hosting a demonstration dinner designed to teach patrons how to cook Florida seafood. And the star of the evening is Christina Sanfilippo, executive chef of the Robb Stucky Culinary Center. A furniture store with a culinary center and an executive chef? What's that all about?
Welcome. I have to say I have been very impressed by the turnout for this class. It seems that seafood is a very hot topic, which I love to see. It is one of my passions. I think it's also a great thing to respect in the fact that we live here in Florida. We are surrounded on three sides by wonderful oceans, and in those oceans are some very good food.
Since 2005, Robb Stucky has partnered with KitchenAid to showcase that company's appliances at cooking classes offered twice a week, once at lunchtime and once at dinner.
Sesame oil is roasted sesame seeds that have been pressed for the oil.
The marketing promotion works well for all concerned. In her long and varied restaurant career, Chef Christina never envisioned herself teaching, but she finds it to be as satisfying as the cooking.
I don't like to focus on just one cuisine or one concept. I really like to broaden the horizon as much as I possibly can, and this entity has been a new option to actually teach all of the stuff that I've been absorbing. It also pushes me to go out, do the research, learn something new all the time, find out what's going on with the food in our world these days on ecological issues, sustainable issues.
During the course of a demonstration, Chef Christina takes her students through the preparation and tasting of 3 different dishes. That's not just for the sake of variety. She believes the palate gets bored after 5 or 6 bites.
You don't need a big plate of one thing. Have a small plate, enjoy a few bites. Get up, interact, have a conversation, start on the next one. Come back, you're hungry again, have another little interesting plate.
Each student receives a packet containing all the recipes, along with a calendar of the next month's classes to take home. But the true enjoyment and learning comes from watching the chef at work. Because tonight's menu starts with a hog snapper salad, Chef Christina decides to teach her class how to fillet a whole fish. She also offers pointers for freshness.
The other thing you can do is look under the gills here and get these guys open a little tight here. You want to look for a very red coloring in your gills. There we go. You can see how bright red that is. Once it starts to go a little gray or even some greenish colors, that's going to be a sign of age too.
Once the fish is filleted and cooking in the steamer pans, Chef Christina turns her attention to the salad dressing. She sautés some onions with spices.
Spices will burn, you need to keep them moving, and if my pans are...
Then places them in a blender with other ingredients. Along the way, she pauses to offer bits of information about such things as olive oil and salt.
Hermanas, it's a Spanish extra virgin.
This is more than simply going through a recipe. It's a lesson as well-rounded as the meal. When the dish is complete, the kitchen staff serves it, and the students get to reap the rewards in both taste and knowledge.
Excellent.
Well, I learned some things about certain fish I didn't know a darn thing about, and got a little education on some olive oils and Spanish olive oil. Terrific. Everybody thinks the greatest olive oil in the world comes from Italy, but Spain's got some pretty darn good ones.
2 oils that we cook with mainly in this kitchen are...
As the first course is cleared, Chef Christina begins working on the second, a Thai-style hot and sour soup using Key West shrimp. The first step is making a stock from the shrimp shells, a process that reveals her ecological leanings.
The shrimp shells at this point are ready for the garbage, no more. Or if you compost, really good for compost. I should take them home.
The stock prepared, Chef Christina explains and prepares the other ingredients: tamarind, sesame oil, vegetables. It's a fairly simple recipe.
Now for flavoring, to finish our soup, we're talking about a hot and sour. We already have a little bit of hot in there. We're going to add some more with the sriracha. Sour. Lime juice. Always use the zest, as I talked about with your citrus, so the zest is in there too. Our tamarind's going in. Tamarind, as I said, is a little sour with a sweetness background to it. And then our fish sauce. Soak it. Swirl these together, blend those flavors. These are very delicate flavors. You don't want to keep boiling at this point or cooking any farther. Add it right at the last minute.
The soup is ladled into bowls and served. Extra hot sauce is passed around for the fire eaters. Once again, the student diners are delighted.
It was just really different, and it was delicious. It was totally delicious. And then also just, doing this different stock. I've never tried them before, and I definitely want to do that.
To finish the meal, Chef Christina has decided to saute fresh pompano, another fish readily available in Southwest Florida. The choice speaks to her desire to encourage eating healthily, locally, and sustainably.
I'm going to start to see a nice, beautiful brown crust right around the edges after about 3-4 minutes. When I'm working with different proteins, I'll really go into where they came from, where the seafood's coming from, why I chose that seafood versus one that is not an ecological choice.
The pompano is served with a quinoa salad, an unusual bland grain that has a high protein count. Served with a tomato basil salsa, it's a chance to broaden palate horizons. As with every dish, Chef Christina looks for reactions and questions.
How's this dish? What do you guys think of pompano? Do we like pompano? What is the difference in the salsa?
I thought it was fantastic, and I love the little girl who did the presentation. She's got a lot of personality, comes across well, and explains things well. So it was well worth the time.
The reactions help Chef Christina to determine what information to offer at the next class. She hopes to inspire her students to keep cooking and learning.
Learning is one of the best things that we can wake up every morning and challenge ourselves to do. There's a plethora of information out there. I have a lot of fun researching and finding out that information and then coming in here and giving that back to everyone here.
Eating out, having the chance to savor new tastes and combinations, and learning at the same time how to recreate those dishes at home. That's what is served up at the Robb Stucky Culinary Center, and it's a recipe well worth sharing.